want you to play a certain way and want you to do certain things. And yeah, maybe I could have done it, but I like the way I play basketball.
I think a lot of people. Starting 502 Podcast, brought to you by Mr. and Mrs Bourbon. And finally, we're here in person with our winner of the State of Louisville bracket competition, Luke Talley, right?
Yeah.
And then he brought along his buddy John. We're here with Russ and Sean as well. We have some labels that have never even been opened yet, right? So these are some special releases that we're going to discuss today. But more than anything, as always, we want to pick Russ's brain too. So Russ, tell us where are you in the world right now? I think that's what a lot of people want to know, right? Like,
Right.
You Wikipedia Russ Smith, and it ends in 2023 with your playing career. So tell us where your career is taking you on the court, and then as far as what's going on with your bourbon brand as well.
Nice. I'm the kind of guy I like to live in the wind. but,
right.
But basketball has been fun everywhere I've been. I've gotten drafted. I have a world record of most points per game average in a single season, 60 points per game. I have a G League scoring record. I played in Israel. I played in Italy. I've led leagues in scoring. So basketball has been fun for me. It's taken me everywhere. And then when I come back home, I call Kentucky home now. I'm probably getting mentored by some of the industry's finest. So I'm just up under them, just trying to learn what I can. So that's where I'm always at, and that's pretty much it.
That stretch in, what was that, 2017 when you were averaging 60 over there, right? 2017, 2018? That was, for us, that's not surprising, but for the rest of the world, it's like who is this guy that's doing this? But did you, I'm sorry to come in and switch.
No, you're good.
I just want to talk basketball.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm down with everything.
Did you expect that Chinese, like, when you went over there and played really well, did you expect that to open the doors back up for you to kind of like what you thought basketball wise, like NBA, what a big European leagues and things like that?
That's what we were talking about earlier. Like for me, I enjoyed being in the wind.
Yeah.
And kind of moving to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah.
It's a lot. They want you to play a certain way. It's a business. And, they want you to play a certain way and want you to do certain things. And yeah, maybe I could have done it, but I like the way I play basketball.
I think a lot of people do. Yeah.
So I try to go places where where they like the way I play basketball, and they'll allow me to.
Yeah.
And if not, it's no harm, no foul. But that's just the way it goes. Some guys get lucky and they're able to, for every Stephen Curry, there's a Jimmy Fredette.
Right.
For every, Isaiah Thomas, there's a Chris Jones or Peyton Siegel.
Right.
So that's the way the cookie crumbles, and you gotta accept it.
How did you get into the bourbon game? I know, this has been discussed a little bit, but this is not something that you were just like, I want to get into bourbon, and then you just slap some labels on things, right? This has been years in the making to have releases like this, to have bourbon of this quality. I know the first time Sean sat me down, let me try some of your bourbon, that was, kind of revolutionary for me, because I didn't realize, what level that this was on. So take us back to, you came into Louisville and realized, the bourbon scene was up and coming, right?
Yeah.
And it's something you just fell in love with, or?
At first, I didn't know bourbon was big. Mentioned that East Coast, right? We don't really, bourbon's not. I'm not gonna say it's not popular, but that's not the preferred spirit when it comes to places, especially where I'm from.
Right.
In Brooklyn, we're doing cognacs or tequila with vodkas. That's the main three, or liqueurs. And then coming here to Louisville, it was bourbon, whiskey, bourbon, and it was crazy. So the friends that I had, they all had dads or family somehow in the industry. They're either master distillers, blenders, or they were Brown-Forman, or they were Beam or Heaven Hill. They're doing something. And eventually, one thing led to another. I finished my playing career, and I met a lot of really good donors, really good boosters, and we would be out, and they would sit me down, and they would offer me a drink, and if you're with a booster, I mean, you're not gonna shoot shots from the well, so
right.
they're picking stuff out that was pretty damn good, teaching me how to drink it, and one thing led to another, and I got really interested, started asking questions, and I had a really good friend, my guy JB. He kind of catapulted me into what you see now, so it's been really good.
Right. So I mean, I guess what led to having your own brand, right? That's what's the process like there? Is it probably more difficult than it
was very difficult because a lot of people have. Not saying that this is wrong, but a lot of people have people that do it for them, and there you can miss some things. With me, I'm a founder. So I had to do all the paperwork, the proper paperwork first. I had to do all of the founding, all of the get the resources.
Exactly.
And I'm a guy from New York, so trying to find the right partners was hard, and trying to understand that. But it came from a lot of companies wanting to partner with me. So I realized that maybe there's some value in what my name or my market can bring to the table. So if I do this properly, maybe I can have another stream of rev or income when basketball is finished. And one thing led to another. It just became a passion. I just became driven, and now this is like a lifestyle.
What brands inspired you the most as you were coming up in this industry?
That's an amazing question.
Did you work under any specific master distillers, or who was kind of guiding you along the way, helping you distinguish? The average person, they put bourbon in a glass and it tastes like bourbon to them, right? You got to develop this flavor profile. So how did that come about?
Man, so it's really tough because so many played a part, and it's so tough. But one of the brands that really inspired me was Willet. I love the fact that it's still family owned. Drew's a good friend of mine. He's also a Louisville fan.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's relatable, and he does really amazing things with single barrels, amazing campus. I just love the way he went about life. And then I also had Wes Henderson, who always reached out. Gosh, from Peerless down the road was amazing. Miss Andre Wilson, she's I think the first woman inducted into the Bourbon Hall of Fame.
Right.
She's a Louisville fan also, so she was amazing. Elizabeth McCall, she's the new master's distiller. Woodford, first female, amazing, and her superior was also great. Mark Bacon was at Old Fold Woodford. The list just goes on. Evan Hill was great. Kai Van Rabbit Hole was great. I can just keep this going.
Right.
So this
that's the who's who of the industry, right?
Yeah.
So I guess when you got into the business, did you ever have any sort of jobs or any sort of hand in the industry as far as going in, testing things, anything like that? That's not necessarily a job, but
but I would say, because for me, I knew because of basketball, I wouldn't be able to have a job. So the market research part was important, and I'm not an alcoholic, but market research means you have to try products. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a pretty good job. That's my job. So I had to. I wanted to see what an 8-year Willet was. I wanted to see what a 20-year Heaven Hill product was like, and then you just find out that there's this rabbit hole of so many other brands, and it's like, oh wow, I ran into Blood Oak, I ran into Tea Leaves, and then I just start going down, and I'm like, oh wow, and I'm trying all these products, I'm collecting all these bottles, and next thing you know, I have a pretty good spectrum of where I want my bourbon to be, which is why we're never going to put out anything less than 4 years. So a lot of people come out with products that are a year and a half, 2 years old, and I think that's whatever floats their boat, right? But for me, we're closer to the 5 to 6 range, and we like to keep it that way. And then eventually we'll get into the more aged products.
So if these guys, they're trying your bourbons today, and they want to actually go tap something, right? Like they actually want to go get it from the source. Where are they going to find that right now?
So get it from like
Yeah,
from the store, where we're at.
Yeah, where are you manufacturing?
So our distillery we're starting production next month in July.
Okay.
And we're in Shelbyville.
Okay.
In Q1 of 25, we'll be open to the public, and we'll be the featured brand and product of the distillery with our partners. So it's an amazing feat. I cannot wait to release that information to the public. I've been holding it in for 2 or 3 years, so I can keep a secret.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, and I would imagine the reason I asked that is probably because once you get to that point, then that's a real mile marker for you in the industry. Is like, I'm producing my own stuff. This is me. This is something that I've done specifically, obviously with the help of partners and everything.
Right.
But this is something that you grinded for. It's not just something, again, like I said, where I'm sure a lot of people think like, oh, especially around here, right? Mr. and Mrs Bourbon, oh, that's Russ Smith. He just slapped his label on there and just like made it a thing. Like this is a labor of love for you.
Oh, for sure. And I think at first that was the problem, right? And people were collecting it, and that was the problem too. Like I didn't want you guys are hoarding it. I'm all for hoarding the product, but I need you to drink it.
Exactly.
They're like, we're not gonna open this. I'm like, buddy, like spend $40, enjoy the bourbon.
They're collecting like the Maker's Mark bottles, like the Tom George or whatever.
Right. And it's not that.
No,
I'm gonna have so much product for you. Buy 2, save 1 if you like, and enjoy the juice. It's really good juice. I would hate for it to go to waste.
Exactly. Save the empty bottle.
Yeah, save the empty bottle.
That's the key.
Collect those.
Yeah. So creating the TBT bottle, when you created the Kentucky concept, right? What went into matching that with, or was there anything? Or was it, did you have any thought process behind like, okay, I think this specific flavor profile or whatever should go with this branding?
You know what? I never thought of it like that. I just thought of it as what would be more, what would I enjoy if I'm a fan of the TBT or UK or I don't know, or Ethan, and what would I enjoy if I don't know a bourbon from Jack shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what, and for me, that's what's going on. And then maybe when we're doing these single barrels or these batches, I'm like, maybe we pull the proof down.
Yeah.
Maybe we pull it here so this can be more acceptable. And I think if I was selfish, I would say, hey, proof these at 122.
Right.
But I want a good drink that guys that don't drink bourbon every day would enjoy. Right. And they would go, oh, Russ, that's really good. You did a good job, but why is it 90? Oh, well, we got other products. You can try my other ones, you know, and people have options. So
I think that's one of the best parts about the brand that I've discovered. It's just that there really is something for everybody.
Right.
If you're just like, I know Jacob, he doesn't like bourbon. Like he's not a bourbon dude. Not to call you out. He's a beer guy.
Right. That's
and
what
he'll
he
drink
does.
beers that I want no business with. Right. So it's the same way with bourbon, right? Like some people are like super into it and they want very specific things. Other people not so much. So I mean, I think honestly, I really do think that you guys have nailed it. Like, couldn't be more impressed with just everything associated with the brand. Like, I think you should be really proud of what you guys have come out with.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very happy. A lot of like I was telling you earlier, we're partnering with some major universities for their NIL stuff and their university labels. So this is exactly where I want it to go. I want people to have the options to create a good label. But first of all, we have a good in-house co-founder. She's great. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's responsible for all of the designs that you see and that you're gonna see. We haven't even gotten started yet. You know, this is the TBT is this huge deal, but this was the test run, so to speak.
Right.
And we've crushed it. So now when we come out with other products with our collaborations and partnerships, it's going to be completely insane. I cannot wait until you see the next label. It's
impressive.
They're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. And then also we have we're going to start doing a lot of things in the wedding industry. So
Nice.
like our rye here is suitable for weddings, but also we have our white label, and our white label is 100 proof of this guy, of this version is vegan too. So it's a little bit more lighter but sweet tobacco notes. But we're just very happy. We're happy.
Do you know if fans go out to TBT? Do you guys know yet what they're going to be able to grab? You know, I know that you guys are kind of like one of the official partners with TBT,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, we're the only bourbon you can get at TBT.
Only bourbon.
So will they have access to, you know, is it, they're going to be able to like grab a rye or white label?
Yeah, so it'll be rye, the white label, and the blue label.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And the ryes are amazing with cocktails too, so we'll have some pre-batch stuff for people who want something, you know, more controlled. And if you want to get wild, get yourself a high proof or
Exactly.
or double shoot it and
Get some bang for your buck.
get some bang for your buck for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You're back in Louisville. TBT's coming up. Take us through year one. You know, a lot of great things happen in year one. Year two is loading. You know, Montrezl Harrell is in the picture. We know that you guys are trying to get the band back together a little bit. We don't know the full plans yet. I know you guys are waiting to kind of announce some of that. But take us through what that process has been like in year two and where your head's at entering TBT in year two with that experience from last year.
Man, it's just so much fun. You know, you're playing with guys that you haven't played with since college.
Yeah.
So it's for us, it's always fun. But then there's a point too where it's like, all right, we're gonna get serious. We're gonna try and lock in. Because last year was fun. So now I think this year we're gonna try and have a little more focus, and we're gonna see what happens. You know, right? But the Trez edition was big. That's a big edition, and I'm just excited to get back in the court. Man. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's mostly guys that you've played with before, but definitely last year there was kind of that mix. You know, you're bringing in guys like Nick Mayo, and you know, there's very little time to get acclimated. I don't think people realize how much goes into just putting a team like this together, getting everybody's schedules to align, and then obviously making that work on the court. There's a lot more to that than just rolling the ball out there and just playing basketball.
Absolutely, and you know, the first year, it was a bit of nostalgia for everybody. Everybody was happy to just be on the floor together. We were just happy to hoop with each other. So I don't even know if we were really, you know, clicking the way we were clicking. We were just having fun. But this year we're gonna really try and lock in and see what we can do together on more of a strategic level and a cerebral level. So I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fan base is excited too. You know, I've heard some stuff behind the scenes. Last year, they were really trying to limit the number of people that came in because they want the full arena effect on TV, right? Like they want people right on top of you.
Right.
But I think TBT underestimated
what
Louisville fans will bring to the table.
I think they did, but also too, it was a good first go because for the people that didn't come, y'all missed it.
Right. Right.
Y'all missed it. It was fun in there. Like we had, it was 5,000, 6,000. It was fun in there. Like Jordan was there, Trez was there, Ray John was there, and a bunch of a lot of guys from the state came, and you know, you're courtside and you see a bunch of the fans that's always at the Louisville games. That was fun. So just playing in front of everybody was a good time.
As you're preparing, you know, are you guys already trying to get together and you know, get on the same page as far as a team, or what does that look like? You know, right now, for people watching, you know, we're in the middle of June, so it's coming up quick. You know, what's that look like for you guys?
Nah, I think we're in a group message, and you know, some guys' schedules aren't aligning at this moment, but we're all in communication. We texting each other. Trez and Peyton's been great about it. We know what we have to do,
Sure.
and I think that's more important than anything, when you kind of know what you got to do. And then with Omar and Mayo, those guys are high level pros, so
Sure.
It'll work either way.
Yeah. It's an opportunity that most people don't get in their life, right? To be a part of something as special as 2012, 2013, 2014, and then be away from the game in Louisville for 10 plus years, come back and get a chance to kind of recapture that a little bit as well. You know, do you have to kind of like look around and like really take it in for a second?
Yeah, it's fun. Like I look back on that part of my life, and I'm just like, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. You know?
Sure.
So it's always an amazing time, but the TBT is doing a great thing. And I've said this before. I was like, I don't think other schools should really indulge in this kind of I guess, I don't want to say behavior, but this kind of like, you know, opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah, because you're not going to get many players. You know, we get old, you know, and you want to get guys together and hoop.
You only have so many years on those knees, man. I'm telling you.
Like I'm looking back on it, like I would have killed Blake Griffin with the Oklahoma, right? I would have killed to see like Blake Griffin and Buddy Hield on the same court.
Right.
You know, like that would have been sick. You know, just in that kind of environment as a fan, you know. So just stuff like that, like Bradley Beal and Corey Brewer. Like you just never know. You just never know what you're gonna get. But they went to your school, so that would have been dope.
I mean, you're already seeing the fruits of what you guys kind of helped spark last year. You know, I know Wichita State has been in it for a while. I think Syracuse and Dayton have been heavily involved, but there wasn't really a big name program like Louisville involved. And now you see all of a sudden Kentucky's made a team.
But we're fun.
Right, exactly. Like I think there was kind of a spark there. People saw the crowds, they saw the players, they remember guys like you and Russ and Shane and this group that was just a memorable national brand for a while. And now you got Kentucky, Kansas. There's a number of teams.
2011 and 2017. I mean, it was a fun time. Like not just for the men's group, but all sports across the board. So that just lifted the program itself. So when you hear the name Louisville, it's like, oh, Louisville's in it. I mean, for that time period I was there, we had we had other programs in Final Fours, Elite Eights, World Series, Olympic play. So it wasn't just us. So when you hear Louisville, and Louisville's in the TBT, other schools should want to, might want to, we should do it too. But
what's needed, as we move into going forward now, what's needed to recapture that, right? Like it's gone a little bit stale. Everybody knows this has gone kind of stale in multiple areas, right?
It's a great question.
Now, how do you get back to that?
You have the kids now are pros,
right?
They're pros now. You have NIL in play. They're getting paid. They're pros, so they have to be treated like pros. But also, because they're kids, there has to be some sort of middle ground, and I think that's the missing ingredient. And once we can figure that out, then I think things will improve. And I know Louisville's not the only school that's going through it.
Right.
So I think that's just across the board. There's some schools that are going to figure it out. I think UConn's figured it out, but there's you gotta understand exactly what you're dealing with when you're talking about paying players. Like that's now you're in a different ball game. So
I think across the board, Louisville's off to a good start in this NIL era. I know it's kind of weird to say that in one sentence. Like there were some difficult times, but from a different perspective as well. You have Jeff Brum on the football side. ACC championship game last year. and then you've gotten a chance to meet with the team this year.
Right.
You know, what was that like? What can you tell us about? Everybody knows about Pat Kelsey's energy, but you know, what does he bring to the table? What's that brand looking forward to in the future?
No, I think Pat and his staff, along with Peyton, you know, they're a bunch of winners, and they'll figure it out. And look, I'm not saying that these guys are going to come in and win 20 or 25 games or win a championship. I'm a realist, you know. But it's all about leaving it on the floor. And with me and with fans anywhere, like I played in a small Italian city in Nardo, right? But they want to see you leave that shit on the floor, you know, at the end of the day. And I think that's what we're going to get. And once you leave with effort and your heart's in the right place, then good things happen. So, but I'm confident in the squad. I am confident. I do believe they can do great things.
Yeah, I mean, how much can be said to, you know, I think a lot can be attested to. There was a lot of faith lost early on in the previous tenure, right? You know, you come out, you lose 9 straight games. It feels almost impossible to come back from that. How much can you attest to, like, just getting out there, seeing the ball go in the hoop, getting some wins? You know, how much does that mean to this program?
Confidence is a big part. Confidence is a big part, and then for players to see the ball go in is, you know, it's pressure, it's weight off your shoulders. But the last tenure, for me, it was just disappointing because it didn't work out, and there was a lot of things that could have went well if it did, but it just didn't, and then everything just spiraled. But and as a former player, like, I just want to see my alma mater in the right light. You know, it's that simple for me.
Yeah, and it's like you said too. You know, that video came out of you just speaking to the players for a few minutes in practice about, you know, the city will take care of you. You just got to get your job done every single day. Right. And I mean, that's ultimately all it boils down to.
It's crazy because with Pat, he put me on the Pat threw me in the fire, put me on the spot.
Right.
But with the players and stuff, I do that stuff anyway. I do that shit anyway. Like, if I'm in the gym and I'm walking by some guys and I want to give them some game real quick, yeah, I'm gonna let them know something, and then go about my day. They go about their day. They take what I said and maybe they apply it, maybe they can, or maybe they just don't. But at the end of the day, it's what you need to hear. I'm not here to. I'll be a friend, but you know, I'm not trying to cuddle up with you, you know.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, and I think in that time and place, they just needed to know where I stand on things.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think John and Luke are getting a little thirsty.
Oh, hell yeah.
So last question for you real fast. Peyton Siva, he's back kind of in the fold as a coach, right? And I know, you know, you guys go way back. There's a tight bond there between you guys, at least from what we can see from the outside, right?
Of course.
And so I guess my question for you would just be, you know, what does that mean to the program, and what does Peyton mean for this program as a whole?
Yeah, people got to understand something about Peyton. Peyton was, as I was in the 2009 class before I reclassified, so I got a chance to see. I was always just watching Peyton.
Sure.
Peyton was a 5'10", 5'11" guard who can do crazy stuff in the air, 50-inch vertical, whatever. Best guard in the country. McDonald's All-American. Could have played any sport. Then you come to college, tough first year, but get Bob Cousy awards, best point guard awards, 2-time Big East MVPs, you name it. Then, as a non-scoring guard, gets drafted. Right. You know, that's hard. That was hard in this.
Nearly impossible.
Yeah, nearly impossible. Yeah. That doesn't happen. You have the Kimbers, Jimmy Fredette's, Isaiah. Those are the guys that Peyton got drafted. So that's how good he was. And then you go to Europe. He's a EuroLeague player. He's an amazing Euro Cup player. Like, so what they got over here on the sideline is somebody that understands the system from the bottom up. So you gotta respect that. And Peyton's smart. He'll make an amazing head coach wherever or one day, and they're very lucky to have him. And that's my brother. So I always got his back.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate your time, but we want to get these guys.
We gotta get these guys.
Be able to try some of the brand, you know, get into what we were talking about.
For sure. Yeah.